there too. And then you're on the yellow. Y'all on the yellow, bro. The yellow, bro. Okay, hold on. We might be going through.
The Midnight Mormons, mature and childish.
Cult apologia, of course.
I knew you come across as a sweet guy. You kind of look like Shermie the elf from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Don't like to make toys.
You know, naive people doing naive things to try to justify belief.
Kwaku L, Cardon Ellis, and Brad Whitbeck, and then Midnight Mormons, where they get even more vicious and cruel.
I could make a horrific video on Cardon.
You are going to be tarred with the same brush as these two, and it will not be good for you any more than it already is.
Because you don't need 20 friends, you just need 3 motherfuckers. You can take over a country. Okay, that's what we're confused as Americans. We think we need all these motherfuckers. You give me 3 bad motherfuckers, and you're finished. You understand me? You're fucking finished.
Brace yourself for another episode of
what kind of a can of whoop you have opened? Cardon Ellis, I am calling you out. You have no idea what kind of pain you are going to suffer. I will not eat the bug, you understand me? And Kwaku L, you want to talk about snapping into a Slim Jim? I've never seen a slimmer Jim what I'm going to snap into with you.
And by their fruits ye shall know them, right?
I will come after your children! I will come after your children's children! I will come after multiple generations of you and smack you down!
ignition in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Midnight Mormons. Oh, I just realized my camera's not on, dude. Hold on a second. What is going on? There you go. Oh, is that it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, snap. But what's up? Why can't they see my beautiful face? Oh, there we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Midnight Mormons live stream. I am your host, Cardon Ellis, joined in the studio today by none other than Kwaku L and Brad Whitbeck.
Hey.
And wow, so much has happened even in just the past 10 minutes. you showing me what Kanye West tweeted, us finding out that our boy here is getting baptized, Mongo Maddie, and Kwaku. I don't know if you noticed this, but you see what Mongo Maddie's got?
He's got, is that 2 pictures of me?
Yeah, he must have made his own emoticons, or like on Twitch, that's what they're called. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, dude, how crazy is that? That's pretty cool, huh?
That's awesome.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, dude, what are we gonna talk about, man? Take it away, you guys.
Well, what we were just talking
Well,
about.
you got to get the mic by you.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, that kind of helps, you know,
Well,
just
we
a
were
little
just
bit.
talking about we probably can't say on YouTube Live.
Yeah, probably not.
Should I pull it up just to see? Like, this is crazy, man.
But while you're pulling that up, we
Okay.
realized that, I mean, with the end of that intro, maybe Jonathan Streeter would make a really good announcer for the upcoming boxing match that Kwaku's gonna be working on.
It's true, maybe.
Oh yeah, dude.
Well,
we haven't released that video
We
yet.
haven't released
though.
that video yet.
They don't have the info. They don't know who.
You know what
gonna
I'm
be-
saying? But
gonna be
yeah,
boxing.
that's gonna be pretty crazy. So yeah, you know, I guess we'll pull this up. I can't believe Ye said this, man. But look, dude, I'm a bit sleepy tonight. But I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on who? Oh no!
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing, God's chosen people. And the funny thing, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are also God's chosen people, he claims. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda. Whoa! Jeez Louise.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think, Kwaku?
He just got back on Twitter. Is that?
Yeah.
I feel like that maybe is going to be a short thing, short term.
Dude, man, I'm curious to see how this plays out, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, I mean, there's so many third
just makes
rails
me
you
wonder,
can't touch here.
What has he got to say? Like that would have him preface it like that. Like,
yeah, dude. Like, whoa, man. So anyway, that one blew up, and honestly, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? But
I
like,
can't
I shouldn't
believe
say,
he's just. That's there's some. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
I have
a
a feeling we're gonna find out something big. Like nobody knows what's going on, but this is just just proof that something big is happening.
I'm hearing that
you
he's
know?
been like hanging out with Black Hebrew Israelites. A
oh,
lot.
really? That would make sense.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a
Really?
rumor or not, though. It could just be totally
I mean,
fake.
what he just tweeted sounds that way. You know, like talking about being
Black people are actually. He said, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. Space. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone whoever opposes your agenda.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you think he's
Yay.
getting like the black Hebrew? Because here's the thing.
Kanye.
It's got to be Black Hebrew Israelite stuff. Like we walked past some of those guys today. I really wanted to chat with them, but dude, I
ain't talking to those people. They're crazy.
I love talking.
I
to
was in
Hebrew
one
Israelites.
video with them.
They know their scriptures.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, I can look it up. Kwaku Mormon with just type in Black Hebrew Israelites, something like that.
Oh my gosh, really? How
Yeah.
come we never
It's
talked
years
about this
ago.
stuff beforehand?
It was
It's
a long
years
time ago, man.
and I'm talking to them, and I'm like, but here's the weirdest thing, though. Like, here's what I think, because here's what a lot of Black Hebrew Israelites do, which is actually very predatory. They go after people in very vulnerable parts of their life, right? So like Kanye, he's fighting for his kids. He just got divorced. He's in a very vulnerable part of his life. And he had not only a divorce, which is very difficult, he had a public divorce, which is extremely difficult. And then like a week later, his wife is dating Pete Davidson, who's leaking text messages of him talking about how he's in bed with Kanye's wife. Just like stuff like that. Most
Dude, there
people would
you
not.
are.
Yeah, it's me.
Dude, look at that, Kwaku. Like you're there hanging out with the black Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
And you're in that one weird apartment where you smattered like pass along cards all over the background.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I'm saying? Just to make a
I
backdrop.
look so much younger there.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, but dude, Hebrew Israelites are really interesting. Like, I had a really good conversation with one of them on my mission.
Really? They're willing to talk to you, an Edomite?
Honestly, you know what? Do you want to know how?
Is that what they call us? Is Edomites?
Edomites, yeah, man.
I think it depends what part of Europe, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You might not be because you're Polish, but you
Yeah, I was about to say,
definitely are.
we're half Germanic, half Slavic.
Yeah, I think
So-
you definitely are, though, Brad.
I mean,
I don't think you are. They would say
I know,
you
I
are.
know, I know for a fact. No, but we were teaching some gal in the like middle of I think Union Square in New York, and like this guy came up and started yelling at us about how we were like evil and leading people astray, and I was like, how? And so he was like, well, can you quote for me Hosea chapter 1 verse 5? And I'm like, if you can quote for me Genesis 39:9, and he's like, I asked you first. I'm like, yeah, when the Pharisees asked Jesus by what power he baptized people, and he asked them back to answer his question first, and they couldn't. I mean, he ended up showing them who was boss, right?
It's true.
And so it was a really fun conversation, because then he was like, wait, okay, how do you actually know the scriptures? I was like, well, because we have more of it, and we have the record of the people of Israel in the Americas. And he's like, you guys know about that? And so we had a really good conversation about the Book of Mormon after that. It was really interesting.
Well, it's funny because actually I think in this exact interview with me, no, it's not with me. One of the guys in this interview, though, with me, has another video where he's bagging on, like, you know, all different kinds of Western Christianity, and he starts talking about Mormons. And he goes, well, actually, the Mormons have some truth in that one book, though. He says it, and I'm like, all right, they're kind of there. Maybe we convert them all, and then everyone who's worried about Desnat starts realizing there's an even worse, more crazy people. The Mormon Hebrew Israelites are truly the scariest thing.
Well, I got a question really fast before we go any further, and it's just a simple technical question. Mango Matty, how'd you make your little emoticon, bro? How'd you make your cool on Twitch? What's it called?
Can you date yourself anymore? An emoticon?
That's what they were first called, and they had to be a super small, like I think it had to be 30 pixels by 30 pixels, and they would have competitions.
Back in like AOL.
Yeah, no, we're talking 2006. They called them emoticons in 2006 still.
I'm just thinking of like America
That was
Online.
a long time ago.
Like, yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I graduated from college in 07. But anyway, Mongo Matty, dude, how'd you make that? Did you just Photoshop that cheese, or because that's actually a really cool one? I might use that on Midnight Mormons, you know, because you can tell that's you from far away, Kwaku.
I know.
That's the biggest problem with.
I have a specific.
What's the modern term for these things? It's not an emoji. When it's used on streaming apps, it's called something specific.
I don't know.
I had to make it for
stream.
Problem Solver Politics. Oh, I don't remember. Yeah. Oh well.
I don't even play video games. Like, I don't know these things. I've never been on a Twitch. I've never been on I don't even know what the other things are to even like talk about how I don't know them. That's how much I don't know it.
I feel like emoticon's probably emoji. Like, is that Kwaku emoji?
Yeah, maybe. So anyway, guys, just if you got any questions for us, we're just hanging out here. We're going to be going over some things that have happened recently, you know, just having some fun tonight. It's actually just a pretty chill stream, you know what I'm saying? If you got any questions for us, make sure you hit us up with a super chat. We're actually
we just got one.
Oh, shut up, really? I don't see it. I'm testing out this new OBS software. So, oh, there it is. Samuel Castro. All right, what's up, Samuel? How are you, my friend? Samuel. Okay, hold on. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller and this a little bit smaller because we got a brand new OBS update. And with the new OBS update, you know what else you can do, Brad? Look, you can make its own
a window for
for the chats.
That's awesome.
So some would say for the chads. But anyway, so now I got this right here so I can be reading it. Anyway, it says, so how do I get rid of ads on this live stream? Oh, savage. Why would you ever want to get rid of ads on our live stream, bro? How do you think we get that Google AdSense money? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, YouTube Premium, that's how I do it. I think it's like $3 or $4 a month, and then you don't have to watch ads on anything. Maybe it's $9 a month or something. I confess, I have been out of the watching ads game for a long time because as a professional YouTuber myself, And also, just as a YouTube watcher myself, I got YouTube Premium a long time ago.
Are you sure you didn't just accidentally click that pop-up that they send you every single week?
Oh, the thing where it says,
yeah, it's like get YouTube Premium for free for a week or a month or whatever, and it's just like shows up every 7th time.
Also,
you
I
use
think
YouTube.
if you're a member on our channel, it doesn't show ads. And actually, we might as well just get that out of the way and talk about it right now. The best way to support us, if you can, is just to send us via Venmo. If you can, that's great. You'll notice that we're constantly trying to improve this studio and improve the show. We've done everything from get new logos to new lights, so on and so forth. We're trying to deck it out and finish it out so these other guys look as good as I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it all goes towards a good place. So Venmo's the #1 place. And then I'm probably going to be putting us on a couple of other platforms that are pretty sick. But for now, it's Venmo, and you can become a member of the channel. And I notice that comes in, and I see it on the analytics every time. But anyway.
All right, so what do you guys think?
What do we think about what? Hit it.
Do you guys think Kanye West's career is going to be destroyed with this new thing, or do you think he's just going to bounce back like he always does?
I mean, he always does.
Dude,
so
if Mel Gibson bounced back from that, you don't think Kanye West will?
That's true. Kanye is kind of uncancelable.
Plus also, it's like, I mean, at this point, the secular left is tripping over which protected class they can't cancel but can. Like,
it's true, 'cause didn't they ban didn't they make I'm not sure what university it was recently, but it was like they had, you couldn't be pro-Israel in like one part of campus, you couldn't be pro-Palestine.
Oh, weird.
So it's like an interesting thing now because I hate that society is like this, but we're so tribalistic. You have to pick your group, you have to pick your minority, of the East you enjoy. And it's like, you got like that one conspiracy podcaster who went on trial. I can't say his name. But he was openly talking about, he was like, what we did with WMDs and killing all those Iraqis was evil. He's always kind of not pro-Iraq, but like watches out for the Iraqis because it was horrible what we did. But then you have people who are like, no, I'm pro-Israel and against Palestine. And people who are like, yeah, well, Israel kills Palestinian children and steals their water. And like, yeah, well, Palestine kills gay people. It's like, all right, so you got to pick your group. Yeah. You got to pick your group.
It's become, and also it's this strange part of the canon. Like, if you're conservative, you're not allowed to doubt or criticize Israel ever, even though there's like some serious things to wonder about. Like,
even though also like not all Jews are pro-Israel
or Zionist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I think there's some legitimate questions that critics of Israel ask. Like, if we give you all this money for Iron Dome and military support and we're allies, why is our #1 counterintelligence challenge you guys?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you spying on us if we're giving you all this money, right? So I think that's a legitimate criticism from the national security right, okay? I mean, the left, or actually just anybody, right or left. But at the same time, like, you can't help but look at your friends once they go woke and like ex-Mormon, anti-Mormon, all of a sudden they hate Israel and love Palestine. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, like, I'm sorry.
It's really interesting because
it's like this team sport now.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be playing team sports with countries in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Well, that's just weird.
Can I also say, though, it's really interesting because when you start recognizing that there's a certain level of manipulation being employed by individual governments when they say, do you making Jews synonymous with Israel as the government entity and saying, oh, if you don't support Israel, you don't support your Jewish friends. But that's not true.
No, but that was the creation of the homeland. Like, that was the whole part of the original charter in the 40s.
I can still love my friend who's Jewish and also think that, pepper bombing Palestinian children is wrong. And if the Israeli government does it, it's still as wrong.
Well, how about if Hamas doesn't hide him inside the nursery and behind the school bus?
Like,
I'm not going to respond because the minute I do, this will be flagged. However, I'm just saying you have to recognize governments will employ levels of lies and propaganda. And I've read accounts from Israelis and Palestinians both. And the Palestinians will say, we don't put children in front of our soldiers. That's a lie Israel makes up when they shoot us. And Israel says, no, we have the documented evidence. But you know what? At some point, I want to know what the heck is going on because Hitler bombed the Reichstag. And that one German guy bombed the Reichstag. And he sent German prisoners dressed up as Polish people. And, he sent German prisoners into Poland and had German people dressed as Polish people and shot his own prisoners to frame the people in Poland, right? So there is always false flags and levels of manipulation when it comes to war. That's how it's always been.
Hey, we got a super chat from Ted Bundy, the ex-Mormon.
Oh boy!
Wow, that's
he sent us $1, and
sent
that's
us
it.
$1.
Didn't say anything. Just
thanks, Ted.
Just being Ted Bundy in the chat.
That's super nice. Hey, well, at least we didn't find out Jeffrey Dahmer was. You know what I said?
If Dahmer and Bundy were both Mormon, it'd be like,
By the way,
one.
Do you notice how all of a sudden he went from being a gay icon to being completely shunned and shamed? Like they used Netflix. Did you see how they had to change how it used to? Well, because you know how Netflix.
Because it would show up in the LGBTQ genre, right?
Yeah, it showed up as like LGBTQ cinema. A guy eating the femur of another dude.
I read that Netflix's system, when the film goes through, they pick up on certain keywords.
Oh.
And so there's this automatic system that will classify into like what tags.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think a Netflix exec sat back and watched it and was like, this is clearly a gay romance. Like, I don't think they did that. I think it just got picked up which makes sense.
Uh-huh.
I don't like what they're trying to do with. Like, I don't like the fact that they're trying to make, like, who's the next serial killer movie going to be?
I know.
Like, these are not good. These are bad people. Stop trying to, like, romanticize and celebrate these demons.
Oh, but come on. We've always romanticized and celebrated.
Well, Cardon,
I haven't.
What happened to movies like The Princess Bride? I want more stuff like that and less of these, like, serial killer shows. Like, I am just sick of... The amount of bad content out there is staggering.
How many dang Halloween movies are going to make with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, did you see there's Halloween Ends coming out?
Can they? Can you let the woman rest?
Yeah.
Like, geez, Louise. Like, and by the way, they haven't remade it. It's just sequel after sequel after sequel. So I mean, clearly they make a lot of money.
And they're planning on making they're trying to make a show about Gabby Petito already.
Oh, the girl who went missing?
Yeah, the girl who went missing.
Already? Like, didn't the internet find out that she had been murdered somewhere, like in Florida?
And her parents don't want them making this show, but they're like, they have no respect for human life.
No, that's really sad.
Hey, we got a couple of questions from some members here that are pretty interesting. Okay. Members always get priority here. Mm-hmm. Thanks for supporting the show, guys. Anyway, topic for the stream. I don't know if this will be a topic for the stream, but we'll answer the question because it also is a very convenient topic of conversation we've been engaged in recently. Is the coming demographic collapse, global population peaking in 2015, the setting for the second coming?
2050?
Ask 2050. Yeah. Jonah Barnes asked, is that the setting for the second coming? Brad, you were talking about this, man.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. I think there's some really interesting stuff in the way that the scriptures talk about by their fruits ye shall know them, and how we have a lot of philosophies of men right now that are leading to literally no fruits. No
of
more
the
children.
Loins.
Yes.
Fruits of the loin.
Yeah, there are these many philosophies that are leading people to not have kids. And I feel like that's maybe an interpretation of this that you could apply. And I don't know if it's the population collapse specifically that's going to be leading towards people being like leading to the second coming. I think it has to do more with the personal righteousness of people. I think it has more to do with.
That's all Klaus Schwab.
Kwaku's in the 2030 camp.
Okay.
I guess. Agenda 2030, usher in the second coming of the Lord.
Look,
keep going, Kwaku.
I legitimately think what they're going to do is they're going to plant a false Messiah. The false Messiah that's going to be, an actor or an AI or something. Put there forth by, the people in Switzerland and in San Francisco where they're plotting the end of the world as we know it. And a lot of people are going to buy it. But you know what? Whenever the first Messiah comes, says he's the Messiah, don't buy it because I'm pretty sure Scripture says it's supposed to be the second.
Well, there's some interesting math.
Say that there is going to be a false Christ, right?
Well, and there's some interesting math here that starts to add up here, all right? Because a lot of people are asking, in conference, was Russell M. Nelson saying goodbye? He got really teary-eyed there.
Nope, I refuse to engage in this conversation. I won't do it.
Really?
Well,
why?
if he goes, who replaces him?
Well, here's the deal.
No, but hold on. I'm going somewhere with this.
I want to derail you, though, with a random thing that I want to say.
Okay, fine. Derail me, and then we'll get back to it.
So I was just going to say, what if he wasn't saying goodbye because he's going to be the one gone?
Ooh.
Look, I always thought it was kind of weird when they would do the when Monson just couldn't make it to conference. And everyone's like, "Wow, he's about to go. Who do you think they're gonna put in next? Who do you?" It's like, let's not
speculate about the death of a prophet.
Who's gonna die next? Turn in at 7 p.m. on TBS. I don't think that's a good. No, I don't like it. I don't like those TikToks.
I really
where
dislike.
Go ahead.
Well, no, but hold on. But we know these things because there's seniority in the 12.
I know.
And if he goes, who replaces him?
I don't like the idea of getting super chats or ad money by talking about the potential death of our prophet.
Okay, well, all
me too. I'm in the same boat.
I'm not talking about the death of the prophet. I'm talking about the succession. The only young dude in the queue is David A. Bednar, and there's prophecies about dudes named David, and he's over Israel.
By the way, can I just say,
you know what I'm
nobody
saying?
on YouTube has ever seen me openly have more respect for the prophet of the core of the 12 than right now. You know, usually like, those boomers. This is the first time I'm like, I will not engage. You see, I play kind of a character.
Are you gunning for the red chair? Are you gunning for the red chair, bro?
Like the torture chair in Hollywood?
What? Oh, you don't know the term gunning for the red chair?
What does that mean?
Term? Okay, everybody in the chat, please let me know. Okay, there's a saying amongst bureaucrats in the church or people that are just church employees. It doesn't have to be bureaucrats. There's plenty of good non-bureaucratic church employees. But they say, oh, he's gunning for the red chair. Has anybody ever heard that phrase before? Just give us a yes or a no in the chat. I'll give you another about 5 to 10 seconds to respond because apparently I just said, oh, that bro is gunning for the red chair, in quotes, gunning for the red chair. And it looks like Kwaku and Brad have never heard that before.
No, that's...
So, no, yes. Oh, see, Before the Crow's Nest. He's heard of it. So is Gene Robbins. So is Wyatt Nielsen. Before the Crow's Nest. My dad used it. Okay, so it's about half and half. You know
that
what?
Ain't half and half. That's all no.
What do you mean? Brittany Ellis says yes.
That's you know how to count. That's your wife.
Post-Mo Porch Time says, yo, that's Chris Hanna.
No. It's all no. With
Look at how many no's.
Yeah, so describe
with
it.
your
like
emoticons.
Brittany just said it more than once.
No. So chat right now. What does gunning for the red chair mean? Just put it right there in the chat.
I thought you meant the red chair they have in Hollywood where they perform the ritualistic ceremonies.
No. When you
the one that turns you into a lizard person.
No, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna pull it up.
No, you can't turn into one.
Overlay with browser.
Look
right
how many
now.
no's. Look how many no's.
Daniel Crosby really wants to make clear he does not know what it is.
Okay,
he's going off in the chat.
So I'll give you a clue. We just saw a bunch of them during General Conference, and when I pull up pictures of General Conference pics, what do you get? You get a bunch of general authorities that are all sitting in what? The red chairs. Look at this right here.
Okay.
So whenever you have a local authority who's, quote, gunning for the red chair, it usually means that there's somebody who's trying to get, quote, end quote, a promotion, which if anybody understands church service and callings, becoming a general authority or an area authority or something like that does not make your life easier or more fun. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to make clear, I have never been a calling chaser, never would be a calling chaser.
Mm-hmm.
I've never, no. Some people, some people are just really wanna, like, there's like,
oh, dude, it's
like
pathetic.
On my mission, man, you could see those.
No.
Really? Well, dude, but you served. You had New
runners.
Canaan, Connecticut in your mission,
yeah.
where there was people who had a personal GDP of like a third world banana republic, and the church loves those guys to be mission.
You know what
presidents.
my calling was for an entire year?
Huh?
What?
I was on the Break the Fast committee.
Yeah.
Which means
dude, I had to
once
do
a
that
month,
once.
I literally would just bring in muffins and put them on a table after Fast Sunday. That is how much I did not want a calling. And when they first called me to Elders Quorum Presidents, I was like, okay, I'll do it. But I'm not going to be like, trust. If there's anybody else you really want, don't think you have to pick me for like the diversity requirement that BYU is doing.
Chris Murphy said something nice. Member of the channel, Chris Murphy said, okay, wannabe GA, 120K ain't enough to sit through all those church meetings. See?
That's true.
No, you know what I'm saying? It's
that's true.
like,
and the amount that it's like a downgrade for so many of the people.
And so whenever Exmos go after us, I'm like, you realize my high school administrator gets paid more than that. Like the principal at the high school my children will go to makes more money than our general authorities. So if you're trying to say that these dudes be making bank,
that's
you're
not
crazy.
120K is not
not a ton of money.
To put it in perspective, one Provo party company, like just us, like a Provo party company in Halloween will probably make around 56 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for a big, massive Halloween party.
Dude.
So that's 2 Halloween, like 3 Halloween parties.
Yeah.
No, that they I don't know why they always run with that. Like they're making it's like 800 grand. No, they're making the amount of the assistant to the superintendent of a small school district.
Yeah, no, it's pathetic.
It's
no,
obviously about the money
to
these people. The tech guy across the street makes quadruple that. What?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. So what's really funny is
that $120,000 will be much better spent going to the government to give to Ukraine. Like, is this where we are? Like,
hey, look. Hey, Chris Murphy's continuing his role. He's pretty funny today. Usually,
Chris
it's like
Murphy's a girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've interacted before.
Oh, we have. Oh, I thought Chris Murphy's usually just like really, really cynical, but today it's just so funny. I'm loving it. Living in airports and on flights to Africa is not my idea of a reward. That's true. You do travel a ton. Did I tell you? Hey, have you ever bumped into a general authority at the airport? Kwaku, Brad?
What? Did I ever bump into a general authority?
No, I bumped
in
into general authorities in
houses.
Disciplinary councils?
Yeah.
No. Well, I've been invited to some of those, but I've met a bunch of them. I've met a bunch of the apostles because I've been to some of the brings. But I guess I shouldn't say. But yeah, no, I've met Renland, I've met Razban. No, I haven't met Razban. I've met Renland. I've met Christofferson. I've met Stevenson.
Oh, cool.
I could. Doesn't matter. Let's keep going.
Okay, well, we got a super chat here. Thank you very much, Jonah Barnes. What's up? Thanks for the super chat, my man. Says your Zarahemna video was excellent. I do believe that he is referring to none other than, actually, we should pull this up because we've been pumping out content like crazy lately. And what he's referring to is, if you check out our YouTube channel, all right, you just go to Midnight Mormons. No, it's got to be on YouTube. Whoops. We made a video. It's not called Zarahemna. It's was originally called Alma 43, The Battle of Jershon. If you look at the thumbnail on our video of it, it's called Modern Moroni, and it just came out this week. And it was directed by myself and Matt Pearson, who's a special effects buddy of mine. And it's a modern retelling of the Battle of Jershon, in which a bunch of like cool kids like reenact the Battle of Jershon, but like with like automatic weaponry and like SWAT outfits and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not getting internet right now, so it looks like we'll just have to pull that up a little bit later.
We're using all the juice to get the live stream going.
We're using up all the bandwidth right now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it is pretty cool, and thank you very much, Jonah Barnes, for noticing all of the work we put into it. It was a lot of work, but it was totally awesome. Oh, here we go. Look, here's Midnight Mormons. Modern Moroni right here. Check it out. Oops, I'm on our own channel, so I gotta skip this ad. And boom. Yeah, right here was pretty sick. We got a bunch of the Boy Scouts to reenact the Battle of Jershon, right? But they were like totally boom, 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 boom with the boomsticks.
Oh, nice.
And the hilarious part is if you watch this thing, it's pretty rad. They're going to come up right now pretty fast. And with all of the sound effects, it's a lot more intense. But that's the mailing tube and the paint can that we used to spray the mailing tube. And so like
nice.
it was pretty sick. My favorite part is when Zarahemna right there gets scalped. See how he's wearing his cool little bandana? Well, when he tries to pull a fast one and take out the Beretta to go after homeboy, boom, he gets scalped. So that guy plays the role of
that's awesome,
of the dude that scalped him. Yeah, it was pretty sick. If you haven't had a chance to see it, go check it out. You know what I'm saying? So yes, thank you very much, Jonah Barnes. I do believe that our Zarahemna video was pretty awesome too. And I got a question for you. We didn't end up getting to talk about this with Ben Criddle. We just interviewed Ben Criddle of ESPN. I got to edit that, but that podcast is going to be coming out over the next hopefully 5 to 7 days.
That was a cool conversation.
Yeah, really cool conversation. Had some technical difficulties with the sound because he was on Zoom, so that might take me a little bit of a while to edit. But I originally had called him up to talk about the University of Oregon, you know, and how that whole thing happened. But we ended up veering into other much deeper and much more profound and evergreen topics. So, yeah, what'd you guys think of that? How crazy was it? They literally got away with saying F the Mormons.
I thought it was an invitation.
Oh, my God.
I was flattered.
So, okay. Here's my short take on this. I think that we should recognize that there are idiots at any sporting event who will say whatever they want, and they are not directly representative of literally everyone else, right?
Okay.
And
yeah, like these are drunken frat boys. It's like this. It's whatever.
I don't care about these people's opinion. They can chant that. We know now. We know those people are kind of losers.
I just like to point out the hypocrisy of all of those who are coming after us and our channel, because these are the same people that wanted to twist Elder Holland's example of trowels and muskets defending the kingdom as an absolute call to violence. You know, they have to twist like trying to squeeze water out of rocks. They have to try and like manipulate and twist beyond mental gymnastics what our general authorities say into being some kind of call for persecution or violence. Meanwhile, literally they can just bona fide say F the Mormons. And by the way, as a general rule of thumb, all you ex-Mormons and anti-Mormons and anti-religious out there, just as a general rule of thumb in society, F the and insert any minority group here. Religious minority, racial minority, ethnic minority, all those minority groups. It's just not a good idea to chant F the minority group
and
here.
it is by definition, that is a bigoted thing to be doing.
Yes.
And so, like, I think it's fine to acknowledge that. I don't think that means that we should say, oh, the University of Oregon's the literal worst now, and like paint all of...
No, not the worst, but I'm just saying you have no more leg to stand on if you're trying to say that you're anti-bigotry, anti-blank phobia, pro-religious freedom, because not a single person, not RFM, not Bill Reel, not John DeLynn. John DeLynn called the cops on Kwaku because he posted a meme that was from a frickin' Quentin Tarantino film of stylized violence, for heaven's sakes. We weren't saying F the Mormon Stories podcast or whatever it was. And he, like a whiny baby, fake runs to the cops and then lies about it. You know what I'm saying? But like literally, he's claiming to like, oh, I just want to keep it peaceful and I'm just doing it. He didn't say a word. Did not say a word, and then tries to come out and says, it's actually because I love the church that I criticize it so much. Well, if you love it, then defend basics such as, I don't know, don't say F the blank of my religious group.
Yeah.
Like not a bad idea.
It is something that shouldn't have been said, but it happened,
But
and
why
we
would-
had video evidence of it.
But the thing is, why would John DeLynn be saying F the Mormons when he could just, be effing people who aren't his wife? I just don't understand. F the Rosebuds.
No, he means my employees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Guys.
What? How is it not true, bro?
Well, to get it back on topic,
yes.
the thing that I think is really interesting is like comparing it to the event that happened right before. Yeah. Where someone says that the N-word's being yelled by one student who may or may not go to BYU, and there's no video evidence to corroborate this.
Of the entire live filming of the whole thing, not on a Snapchat, not on Instagram, nothing.
But yeah, in spite of that, one person saying one racist word allegedly somehow means everyone at BYU is racist now?
Yeah.
Like, that's an insane thing to do. And so I want to make sure that we don't do the same thing where it's like, oh, hey, this whole section saying
there was like 40 of them, all right.
I know.
And by the way, my criticism actually isn't even of the people that were chanting it, because, they might be just dumb frat boys. It was the absolute silence.
Yeah, my criticism is not actually with Oregon. It's the people that were, how dare BYU? And then, actually, it's fine if Oregon's... Wait.
Yeah. That hypocrisy was so blatant online. It was so easy to see.
Yeah, it was the absolute hypocrisy of all of the people that are constantly calling us X, Y, or Z thing and saying, look, we're just here to try and defend people and the innocent. Shut up. You're all full of crap, every last one of you. We got to get to some of these super chats really fast. Before the Crow's Nest says the Pagan's God episode was one of my favorites. Exmo here to confirm they're real. Well, first off, you're not Exmo. You're just inactive. And that's a thing that we figured out with our waitress.
This is the guy who sent us.
We got the waitress story that we got to
cool,
talk about today, right?
Wait. Sorry, go Brad, then I'll have something.
This is the guy who...
He's not toxic enough to have done the whole quitmormon.com and send in the letter and get angry. So I don't think he's actually Exmo. I think he's just inactive.
So this is the guy who sent us his book that talks about this experience, and we need to go over it. We haven't had time to get over.
Wait, he sent us his book?
Yeah, I've got the copy of it here.
He didn't send it to me. He sent it to you.
Yeah, to send to you guys and to go over it.
Oh, so you just haven't done your due diligence to give it to me yet,
I
right?
have told you 14 times that we need
Shut
to
up,
go
really?
over. Yes.
Oh, I feel bad.
Through the course of the week.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
thanks for the super chat. I'll read your book, dog.
It's been incredibly busy, but we're going to get to it because it's super interesting, and we're really appreciative of your perspective on it.
And Kwaku, here, you take this one. Post more porch time. I think that's Chris Hanna. I'm not mistaken.
The Exmo?
No, post-mo porch time, I think, is Chris Hanna's new channel.
Is it?
Oh, no, I was going to go to the previous comment.
He had a response.
Yeah, because the pagan episode is me just taking you guys through an ayahuasca trip, right? But here's what's interesting. I legitimately believe it. So all these people...
ayahuasca or in pagan gods?
The pagan gods.
No,
thing.
I believe that Jesus is stealing our ancestors.
Monolatry.
Right.
And that, baptisms are dead is
and the
Jesus
church, and the church is an interplanetary military order and such, right?
That sounds a little Scientologist, but that's
the
cool.
most inspiring part is that Jesus is stealing back our ancestors from these other pagan gods.
Right, which is cool.
That's a super cool way to look at it.
Dude, my favorite films are heist films, where like the team gets together and figures out how the skinny guy can make it through the air conditioning duct. And then like the limber guy can bend around all the laser beams, and then the big fat guy just runs through the freaking drywall and or whatever.
I need to figure out what it is. So it's Christ and the apostles.
It's a heist film with Jesus Christ.
No,
we're stealing our ancestors
it's
back.
Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. And our ancestors are a little girl being on Jacob, right? And then the Volturi, they're coming, and then it's Edward, and then like they freaking rip off his head and burn it, and it's like, and then though after Volturi realizes they're gonna lose, they can't beat the vampires. Even the power that they had, their pagan power is no match for love.
The greatest cinema.
See, I love that
ever.
I figured out why so many of your examples, bro, are Twilight examples. And you want to know what I figured out, Kwaku?
Because the redheaded chick was hot?
No. There's plenty of hot chicks and plenty of films. You just haven't seen them. Twilight is the only series that you've consumed from beginning to end.
No, not true.
You haven't seen Star Wars.
Well, why would I? Why would I watch that?
You haven't seen Stranger Things.
Of course I haven't seen that.
But you have consumed to the bottom drop of
Twilight
the mug
is
Twilight.
BA. I loved the pirate movies as a kid.
You mean Pirates of the Caribbean?
Those were fun.
Not the pirate movies?
Well, because one, I like Pirates of the Caribbean because there was really no real plot. It was just a roller coaster ride. And like you could go to sleep and wake back up and like, oh, they're in Singapore and they're trying to find 9 pieces of 8 of things, and then they're gonna make a crab lady. You go back to sleep, you wake up again. There's 2 boats fighting, none of it, and you just have fun.
But legitimately though, the first movie in the Pirates of the Caribbean, there is no way that a freaking theme park ride deserved that amazing of a film. And I think that's part of why it did so well, because like expectations weren't great. They were just kind of like.
I think also there's so many things in that.
Well, Johnny Depp's character,
he carried. Oh no, because I literally cried in Pirates of the Caribbean.
You
4.
cried in Wonder Woman.
Who didn't?
Yeah, during that really
Who didn't?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's hard to believe.
No, it's not a good movie, Wonder Woman 2, but the ending scene where the bad guy and his son, everyone cried. Look, that's really beautiful.
They nailed that emotional moment.
They got that one. No, the scene where Will and Elizabeth finally meet up in Pirates of the Caribbean 4, because they actually literally waited 10 years to make the movie from when Will Turner became Davy Jones, because he could only go on land once every 10 years. And so they waited 10 years, and they released it, and the curse is broken. And people in the theater were literally crying because like part of their childhood is they finally got the closure they needed.
Cool. That's cool.
It's like with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in the newest one, right?
Okay.
Yeah, which I guess
I got to see that one.
That
I haven't.
People like Cardon.
Yeah, that one's bad. I feel like I gotta hit the big touchstones in our social fabric, and that was a big touchstone. It was the first like non-woke movie in a long time. So, and I haven't watched it yet, which means I haven't supported it yet, which means I am a hypocrite. and I'm a fool. So anyway, really fast.
Back to post.
We got a new member, Richard Staffer. Welcome to the Celestial Kingdom, bro. And Post-Mo Porch Time says, long live prophets. Whoop, whoop. Wortland's, I think he meant Worthland's, but I'm not sure. Wortland's grandkid said right on Mo's stories last week, his Gramps and Faust wouldn't buy new shoes because they couldn't afford them. So here's enough money for them to buy some Jordans back in 95. Oh, thanks.
Oh, dude,
you don't remember Jordans back in the 90s?
That guy just gave us $99?
Yeah.
Jeez, wow.
He's a baller.
Yeah, dang, dude.
Yeah,
Post-Mo
Porch Time, man. What am I talking?
That's Chris?
I don't know. I think. I wasn't sure. I can't remember. He's cool. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
cool, whoever he is.
We believe in indulgences here at Midnight Mormons. Your sins are forgiven.
Oh my
God!
gosh.
I totally
Garden,
no.
no.
So here we go. Next super chat.
It is Chris Hanna, yeah.
It is Chris Hanna, yeah.
Does
Okay,
Kwaku
cool.
really want to abolish prisons?
Well, see, you don't remember. In my hometown, like this is why I remember we were talking to that one guy that talks about like, oh yeah, it's been getting really rough here in Salt Lake, and like somebody did this or that. I was like, bro, they were killing kids when I was in frickin' elementary school and junior high for their British Knights, their BK Knights, which was a shoe company. If you had the wrong Air Jordans in the wrong neighborhood, somebody else wanted them. There were legitimate, like straight up homicides going down for the shoes, the kicks you had around town, dude.
That is insane.
Oh yeah, no, there was a big wave of shoes once. That was really the first time, like Air Jordans. There had been Chuck Berry's or Chuck Mabers or whatever those Converses were. There had been shoes named after celebrities that were like taken more seriously than others, but Air Jordans were a phenomenon never seen before. And did you know that like the most profitable year that, come on, who's the guy that always chokes, the biggest overrated athlete in the NBA? What's his name? Come on, I can't remember his freaking name. He's huge. LeBron James. So the year LeBron James had the LeBron shoes, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
he's
overrated.
called King James for a reason.
You think he
It's hype. It's hype.
You just don't like his politics.
It's hype. No, it's hype. Okay. Put him up against Jordan. Put him up against Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. Wouldn't hold it. Larry Bird could take on freaking. It's just a different breed, man. Men were men in the 90s. Basketball was basketball in the 90s. Now it's just like woke politics and steroids.
Can you be more of a grandpa on your porch?
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid.
Hey, it's post-mo porch time. Now it's promo porch time. All right? No. So here's the deal. His most profitable year, do you realize that King James, LeBron James, didn't make as much money as Air Jordans in its 25th year?
Okay, sure. Are you? Is this? Yeah. I just. You don't know with Cardon if he's going to finish his shoe store, he's going to go into a rant about like I don't even know.
Or
where
if
we
we're
are.
going to get back to the waitress story.
Oh, yeah, we'll get back to the waitress story. But first, Jacob Mayberry, thank you very much for the super chat. Does Kwaku really want to abolish prisons?
Yes.
Talk about your abolishing of prisons because you're a Joseph Smith guy, I assume.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about a waitress story.
Yeah, it was on his presidential platform when Joseph Smith was running. Yeah.
I think there should be like 2 prisons in the whole country. And you send the very, very bad criminals there.
The violent ones.
Yeah, you send the murderers, you send the rapists, you send the words I can't say in life, whatever. You send those people.
The worst of the worst, shall we say.
You shouldn't be sending marijuana offenders. You shouldn't be sending, most of these people should not be in prison, and we're using prison as slave labor, like a mommy VP right now.
Wait, and by the way, when you say we, you're referring to Kamala Harris, who kept men who had children at home dependent upon the wage that they earned long overdue past their sentences in order to fight wildfires for nearly free in California while she was attorney general.
It's
an extremely racially insensitive and disproportionately punishing move. But no, Mormons are bad.
Yes, that's one of the people I'm referring to. But yeah,
so you're saying that all of these progmos that voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris really voted for a racist with real-time consequences in the 90s and the early 2000s?
Joe Biden never did anything bad besides that one bill. You
Yeah.
know, that one, 1994. But
And-
besides that one, he was
And
great.
the student loan debt that they're all
and that
you
one,
know-
like, interrogating of that one guy who became a Supreme Court justice. You remember that?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
good.
and then also saying that you're not actually black unless you
Yeah.
vote for him.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of things. But what I do want
Hey,
to
at
say
least Ashley
is,
Biden's diary is fake. Just kidding.
yeah, I think it is incredibly ironic how criminal our criminal justice system is. The way that it's currently structured, it has so many problems within it.
Yeah. And no, our criminal justice, our whole government is very, very corrupt. It's almost like it's been that way since the inception, but they got mad at me for saying that in the other video. So
we just got it. We're gonna bring Tim
No,
Ballard.
but the
in
founding
here.
fathers are so much better.
We're gonna bring you. Well, I got a podcast just for you that I recorded with, I believe his name was Paul Haynes. Works with Tim Ballard on doing research for a lot of these interesting American inception and church inception things. We'll
Okay.
set you straight, Kwaku. We'll bring
But-
you back.
and
hey, no, I know what it's like. Do you remember Richard Rich's original The Iron Rod, where the one rebellious kid goes away from the iron rod and he slips, and then they create a human chain to bring him back to the iron rod? You and me can do that, Brad, with Kwaku.
Yeah.
We'll bring him
have
back.
your boy come on. Bring everything he's got. I'll bring my stuff. We'll see who wins.
I have a feeling his historical inquiry
Cardon.
and research will trump
It won't.
Cardon,
your lizard people.
the Constitution and the Founding Fathers are not the iron rod. So, first off,
Yes.
let's not confuse that. But I just
They're
wanna
both
say,
so strong, it's hard to tell the difference sometimes.
Yes.
You know?
No, Thomas Jefferson was really strong when he held down Sally Hemings.
Oh,
okay. So,
So here's the thing that I want to say about this. With I thought it was very intriguing the way that Joseph Smith was looking to abolish prisons and really try to set up our society in a way that we have people be able to reform their lives who are like minor criminals, minor offenses. And I really, really wish that we could find a good way to do that now, because there is so much waste in our prison system and just like controlling of people's lives, and it's really, really bad. So I think, I don't know if full on abolish up to down to 2 prisons
no,
is the
make
right
them
solutions.
massive. Make them massive.
Yeah, but like it's something that I do think we need to, as a society, figure out a better solution for.
But they don't want to figure out a better solution because they want us mass suffering, because it destabilizes and destroys the integrity of the country, which destroys the integrity of the people. We have no national identity. We have nothing. We're sad, miserable, depressed, addicted to opioids and pharmaceutics. And meanwhile, China is revving up to try to become a world power while we can't even figure out if we're happy or not. Our marriages are failing, our daughters are porn stars, and the husbands are doing nothing but watching their daughters' friends make their OnlyFans while we drink our sorrows away. So, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we could do a little bit better in this country.
Yeah, dude, we agree.
It
with
feels
you.
like it wouldn't take a lot of effort, honestly.
Yeah, just vote Republican.
Oh,
So,
Cardon.
Yeah. Your boy Dick Cheney did a real good job,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Look,
As
Dick-
if Republicans
Look,
are
I'll tell you this right now.
What?
I'm coming from a California perspective right here, and that's your only option because we've had single party rule literally since 1994 here. And you guys just drove around today with me between Santa Monica and here, okay? And, like, good thing we were wearing boots down there because that was human urine and freaking hypodermic needles we were stepping on, all right?
Dude, I
So,
understand.
I
I
mean,
lived in San Francisco where they were literally found 2 blocks from my house a dead man chopped up, stuffed in a briefcase, and it was there for 3 days until one guy walked
man.
by and was like, what is that liquid? Did someone like spill like a soda? And opened it and his head toppled on. And was like, wow,
dude.
horrible. We don't know who did this. Yeah, or the woman who was beheaded in San Francisco the other day. I mean,
what?
Yeah, literally beheaded.
Oh, I read something about that's not the other day. That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
That's
I'm
still
just
the
saying,
other day to me.
San
That's
Francisco.
really
Oh, did you ever
recent.
talk about my time I saw a demon in San Francisco?
Shut up. No, do
I saw
tell.
2 demons. Oh, okay.
2 demons?
So, well, I told one story about the little goblin demon that was
Yeah,
from
yeah.
okay.
The goblin was
That
in
was
San
one.
Francisco.
Yeah,
Rock on.
that was in Texas and San Francisco. The other one, this is one of my most spiritual. This is how I knew. Like, this is another great. So, there's this place called Bellissimo's, and it had pizza open till like 3 a.m. So when you're a hungry teenager and you want to get some pizza, and you call up, you Snapchat a girl and say, "Hey, you want to get some pizza?" So me and Marissa are going to Bellissimo's.
By the
to
way,
grab some
only
pizza.
Mormons use Snapchat to send messages to girls saying, "Hey, you want to get some pizza?"
It's true. Usually, guys sending Snapchats say, "Hey, can I get your pizza?" That's a completely different
Oh
thing. You know?
my gosh.
So anyway, we're
Or
going.
can I get a piece of you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're going, and it's like 2 a.m. And we get our pizza, walking back, and there's this man walking toward us, There's nobody else in the street. It is empty and creepy. And there is this dude, and you can't even see him. It's just a shadow, okay? And so he's not walking towards. He's staring at us in his car. His door is open. His eyes are literally red. Like, literally red.
Oh,
and I'm like, great. And he gets out of his car. He, like, starts, like, to get out, and I was like, this guy's going to try to murder us or rob us. He's a large dude. So I literally remember, I was like, crap. And I, like, closed my eyes, and I was like, Heavenly Father, help us not get murdered by whatever it's coming toward us. Open my eyes. A random, like, couple appears. A random dude and a girl, and they're in shape, and they're tall. And they're, like, just right next to him. And he looks at them, and he goes, he gets back in his car, and we were to walk by.
Oh, my God.
Whoa. So one of the 3 Nephites is a girl, you're saying? Huh?
I don't know if it
or
was.
maybe it's his wife. You think they got translated without their spouses?
Dude, yeah.
That would suck.
I have a whole theory about that, by the way.
Yeah.
I have
What's
a
your
theory
theory,
that
bro?
when because look, I know we always talk about the war on the family, but more than that, there's a war on love. And I hate to sound like a new age hippie, but the war on love is so destructive because it's destroying the doctrine of the twin flame, which we can do a podcast episode about that.
We need to.
But
okay.
But basically, I have this theory that when Christ comes, when his feet touch the ground again, he's going to be holding hands with Mary.
Oh.
He's going to be coming down with Mary Magdalene.
Oh,
Adam's
you think it's
going to
be?
Eve. I think they can come down with their eternal companions.
Really?
Yeah. I literally imagine them holding hands together coming down.
Dude, that's cool.
How do you feel about that one, Brad? Is that doctrinally correct?
Hey, there's nothing that says that it won't be that way. We know that Christ will descend, but it doesn't really get into too much more detail beyond that.
It'll be Joseph and Eliza. Sorry to break it to you.
Sorry. By the way, random question. Can people not see... send the camera my way. Can you not see the strike through in this new logo? We made it really thin, and I'm not sure if it's like showing up right.
Well, you sure can see it in mine, right? Oh, it's kind of...
There are people like
here, hold on,
messaging in the chat saying that asking why we took out the strike through. We have it there, but it's...
Well, look, it's a little bit easier. I'm going to show these guys right now as we get rid of the...
I made it thicker for that one, though. So maybe
did?
I need
so
to...
look, here we go. So check this out. I'm going to recenter this. This is our new logo. Woo! See the new logo? It actually has a strike through on it. Now, that's the Blue Moon version. As you can see also behind me here, we've got the handy-dandy new Yellow Moon version. But, yeah, you know what? Because of the brightness of the font in the screen behind us, it's difficult to see the strike through, but it is a lot more easy here.
Yeah, so we'll just need to...
Richard Stafford is saying increased line width. Look, you just joined today, Richard. Back off, dog. Okay?
No, he's totally right.
You got to have some time in the jungle before you start throwing around command form. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. So anyway.
Cool.
Tyler Price says, I'm going on my mission to Las Vegas. Any tips, Kwaku or Prophet Brad? Sorry, Cardon will screw you, and I'm kicking you out of the chat. So, no, I'm totally just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Hit him, Brad. Kwaku, you actually didn't serve a formal mission.
No, I didn't, but a lot of missionaries hit me up and asked me for advice. And I'm like, I didn't really go, but, I got a paper trail online of people who will, so they'll watch the stuff. But
apparently I am unworthy to give examples.
I mean, obviously.
So
I think,
Brad,
I think
you give yours, dog.
Maybe because you said if you weren't LDS, you would own a strip club multiple times in the show, and maybe he's going to Vegas. He's like, I'm not going to get advice from Cardon, but I'll definitely go.
Yeah,
to
no, and the bar connected to it because in California they have to be 2 separate buildings. But no. I'm
okay,
just kidding.
So advice for this missionary.
Okay.
My brother-in-law actually just went into the MTC on Wednesday. And so I've got some top-of-mind mission advice. And
rock on, hit it.
If I were to say anything, first off, stateside is, I think, pretty different than serving outside of the States because people expect you to know the doctrine really, really well. But
in the U.S.?
Yes, and particularly the history. Where I think in places, even in
That's
places...
because you served in Glenn Beck's ward, and he probably came and started quizzing you on 1856. You know what I'm saying?
No. But something that I want to say is read Alma chapter 18, and I guess read all the way from 17 to 25 or so. Read about Ammon, Aaron, Omner, Himni, and their experiences teaching to the Lamanites, because you get some really amazing patterns in there. Like you see the way that Ammon teaches King Lamoni. He literally starts with where they agree. And so your job as a missionary is to create an environment where people can feel the Spirit, and the Spirit can help them understand what's actually true. And if you can begin with where you agree with them and then build from there, that's going to be a much better way than to try to say like, well, we're different because of this, or we're different because of this. You start with where you agree so that you can get a solid ground and really get to know them too. Because sometimes you might assume they believe things that they don't. And so like you see this, Ammon does this with King Lamoni. He's like, believe that there is a God.
And I would say, here's my advice.
Yeah, go ahead.
As somebody didn't go.
No, but you had missionaries teach you, and there's probably things that you dug.
Sister Lou and Huber.
Oh, you had sister missionaries. Oh, and you probably talked about these sister missionaries as you bore your testimony and told your story on Saints Unscripted.
Yeah, when they took it down.
Before
they didn't take it down, they took me off the.
Before they took your face off the thumbnail of your testimony and all the other thumbnails
of the channel that I built for them. But it's okay.
What's up with that, by the way? You never figured out why they did that.
They like to play it very, very, very safe and never be, never show any chest. And because of that, I am just a little bit too radical, too rebellious, too honest, and not bureaucratic enough.
Have you gotten that confirmed, or did you really just do something
I know
them off?
No, I know them. I know how they work. There's a lot of stuff that never made it on there that should have made it on there. But it's okay.
Okay. Like you bare-chested?
No. But the episode I walked in naked, they didn't upload. I thought that one could have been at least worth a couple super chats. But no, so basically, talk to the heart. Talk to people's hearts. Don't talk to their brain. Especially if you're going to be in Vegas. Yeah. There's a lot of heartbreak and depression and sadness in Vegas because of the poor choices that are being made. Speak to people's hearts.
Well, there's also just like a lot of suburbs that have nothing to do with gambling, but
But still, you're in a zone where, like, I mean, in New York where I served, it's like the city that never sleeps, right? And in Vegas, you're kind of in Sin City. It's, I think, a similar thing. You're going to find a lot of people who don't know how to find peace, and Christ is the Prince of Peace. So help them find peace in Christ, and help them. I think
I dig.
Start with the baseline that people need to know, which is that God is their heavenly Father. I think it's really interesting that the first missionary lesson, it talks about that, even though it's technically about the restoration. And then you have the plan of salvation, which goes into that as well. So it's really, really interesting. But if you can help people understand their relationship to God, and it's a very uniquely LDS view that we have, like if you can help them understand that, they'll be in such an amazingly good spot. So, that's my advice in short for how to.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left here. Okay, we got an hour-long live stream going on. If you guys have any more questions, just super chat us. We'll get to them because Brad has to tell the pretty waitress story that we had, not as the pretty waitress story, but the pretty and beautiful story about the waitress. You know what I'm saying? Kind of botched that one. But we had an interesting experience with our server. You have to call them now, too. If you say waitress, you get in trouble.
Which I feel like servers much more just dehumanizing.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember there's three rules with anti-Mormons and secularists because they're the same thing, okay? First off, when you go godless, the first thing that goes is your sense of humor. Religious people are far more humorous than non-religious people, and the deeper you're going to atheism, the greater your cynicism and inability to laugh and enjoy the world grows.
I don't know. Bill Maher's really funny.
That's true.
Yeah, and he's the biggest conservative out there because he didn't realize everything he was fighting for.
But he's an atheist hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Really? Okay.
I don't know if he still is. But I know he was at one point.
You know, okay. Yeah. No.
I wonder if he's one of those agnostic atheists that, like, just isn't sure.
He was also raised Catholic. And Catholic and Jewish.
He's a puppy.
I don't know how you can be raised Catholic and Jewish, but he was raised both.
Well, he was raised in New York, right?
Okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. So anyway, first one is once you go godless, first thing that goes is your sense of humor. Second is that anti-Mormons never refute Scripture. They only fulfill it. The anti-religionists that are constantly trying to prove scriptural verses incorrect only end up fulfilling the prophecies they're in. And the third thing is they only ever accuse you of that which they are guilty of. Those are the 3 rules that you'll learn very quickly when we deal with the anti-religionists. So anyway, I don't remember what that had to do with what, but I had to get those 3 rules out of my system for some reason, and this is live, so we're just going to move on. Anyway, Jacob Mayberry says, Utah's alcohol laws are based. Love your prohibition video. Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, that one dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kwaku and I got called authoritarians for supporting what the prophets had supported.
Fine. They can call me an authoritarian.
Yeah.
They just have to be fine with, being baby murderers.
Yeah.
As they, are okay with people ramming into families.
look,
with their
just because I'm a
F-150s 'cause they
freedom-loving person.
Yeah, that freedom to kill families is really useful.
Well, look,
isn't it?
no, I just follow the Doctrine and Covenants where it says any authority that's not based upon long-suffering and patience and persuasion, is inherently, amen to that man's priesthood. And if we're going to usher in the theocracy that we all want, no, I'm just kidding.
No, look. It's you guys can disagree. I just hate alcohol. I think they're poisoning people, and we need to stop pushing that so much in our culture. But we won't, because we have all these wimps who are totally fine.
And we had a government that did what? That told us they cared about our health for what? 2 years? In 2020. And guess what? They let you poison yourself with alcohol all the freaking time. And what, big tobacco still a thing? It is. It knowingly gives people cancer. Guess what? We have a huge burden on our entire society medically.
We do.
From freaking alcohol and tobacco. But hey, you got to be free. Yeah. You know what? We've made laws about less important things, okay? I think it's okay for us as a people to say, hey, you know what? Let's not do this.
Yeah, dude, something just came.
We can do it within the republic of government. You don't have to be authoritarian to get people to vote. But yeah, I don't like alcohol or tobacco either.
So
the externalities are extreme.
Okay,
but go ahead, Cardon.
I was just gonna say, hit us with the server story. That was interesting. What happened when we were out at dinner with one of the copywriters?
Okay, cool. So,
you remember this, Kwaku?
Well, yeah, the girl who was ex-Mormon.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
So we were at dinner, and we were just having our burgers, and we were enjoying our food, and we were just chatting about some projects that we're working on right now, and we mentioned ex-Mormons. And when we did that, we had our server walking past, and she's like, "I'm an ex-Mormon," and we're like, "Really?"
And we really quickly checked if we were dogging on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what'd we say?
I was like, and Cardon didn't scare you away? This is great. And so it was really funny, too, because, we obviously need to be careful about how we're using the word ex-Mormon and anti-Mormon so that we're not, meaning every ex-Mormon's an anti-Mormon.
Well, because
that's not true.
The anti-Mormons demand to be called ex-Mormons. We've had this whole linguistic argument where if you just kind of used to be Mormon, you're inactive. You're not an ex-Mormon, because the ex-Mormons want to be called the ex-Mormons, and they're the ones that are of the anti-Mormon hateful bent, and they kind of want to be called that. They reject post-Mormon. They reject anti-Mormon because, when you actually expose them for what they are, they don't like it. So apparently the only way you're allowed to address these people in which they will give you any kind of credence is if you say they're ex-Mormon. So, I don't know. We're in this weird linguistic area where I don't think we should adopt the language of our oppressors. We should just call them all anti-Mormons if that's what they're doing, because that's all they are, and then just move on with it. But I guess we've adopted the language of our oppressors, and we got, anyway, keep continuing the story.
Yeah, so she was like, yeah, guys, I'm an ex-Mormon. We're like, dude, awesome. Tell us your story. Like, what? Thanks for chatting with us about it. And so she told us about how she had... man, I don't want to butcher her story because we hopefully can get her on the show at some point. But
yeah, she said something very
maybe summarize. Yeah,
how it was really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That her mother was in a very difficult spot, but that she also felt like, strangely, she said it was also a little bit hard because all of a sudden a lot of time was being spent at church, and she felt that there was almost as if some kind of distance was put between them with how much time she was spending, but we don't know if that was some kind of coping mechanism. But ultimately she said that she realized it was doing a lot of good. You know what I'm saying? So we got a very raw and interesting inside look at somebody who converted to the faith, you know what I'm saying, and then lived it for extended period of time from her teenage to her, at that point, she probably looked like she was, like 20, 21, 22, something like that.
Early 20s.
Yeah, early 20s. And it was just a very raw and beautiful interaction. And we're actually going to try and get her on the show and have her just talk, because we've had some really great raw and beautiful podcasts lately. They're going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks that are just absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, anyway, we got like 5 minutes left. So if you got any other questions you want to ask us, make sure you get your super chats out of your system, because we also have to record one more video before we head out the door back up to Utah. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, that's it, right in the chat. Chuck Connors. That was the name of the shoes. Chuck Connors back in the day.
Not Chuck Taylors?
Not Chuck Taylors?
Oh, crap. You're right. They're Chuck Taylors. We're both wrong. The chat was wrong, and I was wrong.
Chuck Connor.
So that, yeah, no,
It's
Connor.
the off-brand Chuck
It's like
Taylor.
John Connor. Hey, that's a celebrity and a movie that never had its own shoes. Terminator. John
Not
Connor.
familiar.
Oh, you never seen Terminator?
Like I've
either?
heard it, but I've never seen it.
Oh, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is probably one of the best action films of all time ever. Historical. It's an amazing film.
Huh.
Shot all around
Terminator. I hardly know her.
There it is.
There it is.
I see what you did there.
Been a on-running joke in Provo for years now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway, we already got the one about prohibition being based. Okay, I thought that one was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people...
Oh, here it is. Got this one. Thoughts on the semen retention movement.
This guy's been asking all day about the no-fap thing, all right? And that's the one you answer?
Let me tell you this.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I'm going to tell you this, Tyler Price.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do the joke. Okay? I'm going to do the joke.
Is this going to get me dinged? This can't
Let
get
me
me
tell you
dinged on YouTube.
You ain't seen an erection yet. Okay.
Oh my
The
God.
insurrection,
Oh my
Greg Locke. I had to do it. Okay. So, I know people make fun of it. It's a meme online, semen retention, everything. Look it up. The history of it. The ancients in Egypt.
The ancient Chinese and
And the
Egyptian.
Chinese
all over the
medicine
world
stuff, yeah.
literally believed you gain more power, and the power can be called energy. Some people call it vril. And you essentially get more power, closer psychic abilities, more creativity. You become happier. You just literally like rise up a kingdom essentially via semen retention.
Oh, emphasis
Yeah,
on the
and-
rise up.
And like the way that they talk about it to justify it, just so you know, is like the amount of energy that you would be putting into your sperm and making more of it more often ends up like just draining you of all of your energy, right? So
Your vital life source.
That's the theory in like a really boiled down version. Like it's a Chinese medicine thing for sure. You can look it up online and they explain it very clearly. So yeah,
it's deeper than that.
Okay, so we got.
it's definitely Kwaku will let you know like
it's deeper.
It does lead to lizard people pretty quickly.
The elites don't want you to practice semen retention. I want to tell you
The
something.
elites want you to spend all your strength with harlots.
The grapes at the supermarket are free to eat. You can eat them. I've eaten thousands of grapes. They can't stop you.
Wait, what?
It's a meme from online.
I don't get that one. But we got a couple of last super chats here before we go. Get all your super chats out of your system before we bounce. We're going to hit them all up before we go. That's a promise we make. Richard Stafford says, what does the chat want an upcoming video to be about? Thank you, Richard Stafford. What a responsible adult doing our job for us. Again, thank you for the super chat and the reminder. Before you go anywhere, chat, please. We're growing. Our channel is growing, right? But we also cover controversial topics, and those are oftentimes slightly less rewarded by the algorithms. So one of the best ways you can help us out, if you can't join the channel, you can't Venmo us, you can't give us a super chat and help us out financially, please make sure that you just share this video with your friends. If you just click that share button and you text it to your buddy, you text it to your bishop, you text it to your friends and say, hey, I thought this one was funny. That actually helps us out a lot, and it shows that our viewers are enjoying our content, sharing it with others, and then that makes it so the algorithm says, hey, this therefore must be good, and it helps us grow. So if you guys could do that for us, it'd be awesome. And also, we want to make content that you want to see and you want to watch. So yes, in the chat, before you go, after we end, I'll also leave the chat open for probably an extra minute or two. Why don't you guys say some topics you would be interested in hearing about? And then Drake Thatcher says, hello, Kwaku.
Can I read this one?
Yes, you can read it. Hit it.
Hello, Kwaku. I am not a federal agent. Please tell me more about your plans to prevent Las Vegas demons from raping our houses and burning our women. Again, definitely not paid by federal lizards.
Something told me this guy's a lizard person. Well, I do have plans. I do have a whole plan. I do have a plan for breakaway civilization and society should, stuff really hit the fan. And I can't really say what it is. I'm not.
It's going to be based, though.
It will be very based.
There will be, look, there will be absolutely zero levies.
No levies.
By the time Kwaku is done.
The levee will be destroyed. You understand? You will not be able to get into Utah.
You keep talking about a levee as though like Utah
I can't use a real landmark. Then they're actually gonna watch me.
We can't
I'm making
tell
up a
them
thing
the
that's
truth.
not there.
It's like Utah is surrounded by a moat. You know what I'm saying?
It isn't yet.
And you're gonna take your finger out of the dike, and it's gonna blow. It's
I'm
just
gonna blow
like,
up the levee leading from Vegas to Utah.
oh jeez, man. Okay,
There isn't a levee.
so
Okay.
promo porch time.
Oh, he
says,
updated the
name.
Yeah.
I'll keep Mormon. Oh, that's funny. That is way funny. Okay, last 5 minutes left. We got some really, really cool stuff coming up. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, check out Alma 43, The Battle of Jershon. It's
A call from someone I didn't expect a call from.
okay. It's we just released a fun little action movie. We got another short film that my ward made coming up called The Cemetery is Quiet. In my ward, we have a bunch of script writers, Hollywood writers. We have a bunch of live theater guys, gaffers, grips, set painters, set constructionists, teamsters, all kinds of Hollywood guys, everything from directors to people that have worked at DreamWorks, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. They're producers, they're actors, movers, shakers, and producers. Me and my friends, we can see the future. So we couldn't go to camp with our youth for 2 summers here in California, unfortunately, due to the COVID lockdowns. And so I convinced our bishop last year to start a big summer project that was actually making a film. So the adults chose a really cool story, and the professionals, we wrote a script out for the kids. And then we cast all of the kids, and all the kids that wanted to participate in the movie, they got to get a role. Nobody was denied a role. But we actually made this cool kind of short horror film that's kind of Halloween-y, based on ghosts and stuff like that, called The Cemetery is Quiet. And that's going to be coming out this week. Actually, I think it's October 12th we release. Maybe it's the 15th. I don't know. But sometime over the next 7 days, you guys are going to have a chance to watch The Cemetery is Quiet. And we even recorded a little bit of a kind of a director's cut with my bishop, who is the executive producer thereof, and me and Brad and Kwaku and stuff. It's pretty fun. So you're going to be able to see that this week. And it's going to be pretty sick. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Other than that, anything else you guys want to say before we jam, before we get off air with these people?
Atlantis was real.
Okay. It's a hard one to follow.
Yeah, I guess if we're going with Atlantis was real, I got to follow it up with
retain your semen.
Well, North Dakota isn't.
Okay. Cool.
You can't prove to me that it is.
I try. I've never been there.
Everyone from there is a paid actor. I've never met a real person from North Dakota.
I have.
Prove it.
Oh, there's a big school out there that's a petroleum school. And so I've met a lot of people from North Dakota because they go to that university.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all right. Cool. Well, thanks, guys, for hanging out with us.
They can't lie to us about geography. They did it when they told us the Earth was round, so.
Oh, I see what you did there. So anyway, thanks a ton, guys. You're totally awesome. We've loved hanging out with you guys. This Midnight Mormons. I'm going to keep the chat open so you guys can hang out for a second more. But other than that.
Oh, Richard Stafford's claiming to be from North Dakota.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
Got him. Rock on. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you in the next one. This is Midnight Mormons. See you in the next program.